Hello everyone and welcome to a promotional review for the game Grood. This is published by Drageus Games, which I want to thank for providing me with a code for the game. The developer is CC Arts and its release is the 23rd of October 2020 for the price of £4.19 in the UK. So this is just a quick look at the game itself. As you saw just a second ago, it has one mode only, which is hard. And I can say officially, this game is really tough. The achievement list isn't actually that bad. You just need to go ahead and kill a bunch of enemies and reach a certain amount of areas. But reaching different areas, that's another question entirely, as I felt the difficulty spike for this game extremely tough. I found myself often getting hit and not knowing how much health I was getting back from the health packs. It wasn't up to what I thought it was going to be. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say the review score that I've given this game, which is going to be a 4.5 out of 10, as I felt this game, difficulty-wise, was extremely difficult. There was very limited content in terms of what it offered, and as for the price, yeah, it may be a cheap game, but overall, I felt this could be highly improved upon, as I felt it wasn't up to what it needed to be. There needs to be some sort of shop to buy things from, like health packs, increased damage, all that good stuff that if you're used to playing a side-scrolling auto-scroller shooter, you are probably used to in other games. And this one, I don't feel I'm going to be able to complete in the current way it is now. You do get a sort of special ability, which is like a slowdown mode, and that can only be activated once, and once it's activated, it's going to completely deplete it. You cannot turn it back off again, and you're going to have to go ahead and get points again and build up that meter to use it again, which I felt was super unfair, as I didn't want to have to use it constantly. I only needed to use it on the times I felt I was going to die, and the damage seems to be extremely low. I know that as you progress throughout it, your damage can increase by collecting the power-ups and things that there is, but there seems to be so few things throughout the game that actually help and benefit you to moving on to the next level. It's very difficult, and it's going to be an extremely tough completion, I assure you. If any of these things are changed and added to the game, it would extremely improve it. And although that moving on to the other areas may seem like an easy task to begin with, and dodging and moving around, it becomes ridiculous. I've played this for about 2 or 3 hours now, and I can tell you without a doubt that there's no way I'm going to be able to get to some of the areas, and you have to get to those areas multiple times for those achievements, and to do that would be insane. The score requirement to get to those areas is way over what it needs to be. It needs to be a lot shorter, and it needs to have some sort of tutorial also to show you how to play it. I didn't understand what I was doing or why I was doing it. It was very short in terms of the story, and it's very limited in the content that it has in its current state. The other weapon that I got in this game was the shotgun, and it barely did any damage at all, and I felt that the best weapon was definitely the Gatling gun. As long as you can improve it, getting to the areas where you've improved it felt so much of a challenge that it seemed almost impossible. To have only the one mode being hard was way over what it needed to be. There needs to be different modes set for this. If it's going to be one of those completions that's just going to be known as one of those tough games to complete, I would understand. But for the more casual audience that are going to try and buy cheap games to play, I feel that this is one of them that they're going to try and avoid, seeing as how tough it was just for me to play it, and I've played a lot of different games. Overall, the map seems so repetitive, the different areas seem so repetitive, the enemies I was encountering barely changed, and from what I've played of it, there's no way I'm going to be able to get the completion for this as it stands, and I want it to be able to cater towards the more casual audience than just the hardcore professional achievement hunters out there that are going to play this. The limited content that it has is so limited that I feel it's just a base game right now, and feels so much like a phone game that you pick up and play for 5 minutes and you die and you never play it again. It's one of those games that you're not going to really enjoy thoroughly as much as some of the other titles that are out there, and people aren't going to want to buy this if this is the exact way that it is in its current state. If those things are improved upon, I feel that the game could actually become one of those completions that achievement hunters and casual audience members are going to play and enjoy, as I'm sure that the more that the game is improved upon and the patches that it releases, if there is any, it will improve those things. But as it stands right now, to me, it's an impossible completion, and it's way over the top. It needs to be lowered in terms of difficulty, and it needs to have those other things I mentioned, like a shop and more power-ups to pick up to make the game easier for people to complete. Because to me, there's not a chance in hell that I'm going to go ahead and force myself to play this over and over again to be able to complete this. And it needs to have better menus and story and tutorials, everything that a basic game usually would have in it, especially for the limited content that this game actually offers so far. That's what I'm giving it in terms of a score, and I'm actually coming up to the end here as to where I died, but I did go ahead and just quickly look at the achievements that the game had, and you will see that it's just for getting to different zones and killing a certain amount of enemies a certain time. But without any further ado, guys, I want to thank you all very much for watching this video, and I will see you all in the next one.